I said we street teaching and doing music to educate. All praise, I had this gift in second grade where I stay. They upgraded the murder from catching fades. Let's just say you niggas is weaker in 7 days. Cause how a nation come kidnap you and make you slaves, then separate their children and parents, change their names. No Damon Wayne for generations was major pain. And we kill each other, but when it's done, we don't say a thing. You niggas tripping. Well, in other words, y'all niggas Christian. Worship white Jesus when scriptures give his description. And shout out to my kindred that's really living what's written, keeping laws that was given instead of willfully sinning. I love saying Christ coming back, cause it's with vengeance. All we gotta do is endure like it's an entrance. Rehearse the righteous acts, who spiritually it's a scrimmage. And that real game start when the missiles pass the defenses. Let's get it, I'm chilling. It's scary but it's thrilling. Never trust the opposition, they come near me then I'm peeling. Like aren't you glad we no longer killing and drug dealing? But instead we out here healing, no more filling up them prisons. We almost at the ending, and now I don't care who like me. It's sore strokes for them folks, cause they scared to fight me. And you in sin, cause you clutching on that hand tightly. Calling on the Lord, you get ignored like scam likely. Step to the set, you getting checked like a pair of Nikes. SICARII heavy, in these streets you better tread lightly. And real Jews don't follow behind clone. We just waking up the dead in a valley of dry bones, all praise.
Misinterprets text, misinterprets the Bible, all type of.
Like the death tarot card.
What's that?
The death tarot card. It doesn't mean death in that sense. It just means the end of a chapter and the beginning of a new chapter.
I'm not sure about that. Are you into tarot cards?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I will address that real quick. That's not it. That's not what we're into. Would you think that's what's the term? What's the term I'm looking for? Kind of like yeah, like fortune telling. Is that what it is?
Not necessarily. I don't.
What do you classify it as?
I classify it as like guidance.
Guidance?
Guidance. Not necessarily
From a
telling
spirit?
fortune. Yes.
What spirit?
Any.
So you welcome any spirit?
Any necessarily God. Of course, I welcome our God first.
What's that?
I welcome our God first, but I know the difference between good energy and bad energy.
But okay, so you get readings to other people? Okay, I'm not too familiar with that. Like I said, I've seen, like I said, I go online. I've seen people go live on TikTok and have the tarot cards out.
I've seen misconceptions of tarot cards and all that stuff.
So you say it as guidance. In what way though? Just in any decision or any type of?
On any decision, you ask specific questions and you get guided into whether you're on the right path or not.
And you believe that? You trust in that?
Yes.
Have you gotten good results from that?
Yes.
Interesting. How long have you been doing that for?
A little under a year, maybe.
What got you into it?
Honestly,
Somebody introduced you to it?
no. I was just here going like to some of the stores here. There's a few stores here that have.
Oh, I see. You
them,
just
yeah.
bought them and just.
Yeah.
So somebody tell you how to operate, or what made like? How'd you? I mean, that's my thing. Like, if you're taking it into boys, how are you like? So you just picked it up and started doing it. Like, but how do you know, like, the spirit that you're dealing with is an authentic spirit? You know what I mean? Because I'm assuming you believe in a spiritual realm, right? So that particular, thought process or work, if you want to call it that, you're asking questions and then you're flipping cards over and getting the answer right then and there, like a minute later, or how long does it take?
I sit there and I wait for the cards to fall out of the deck themselves. If I'm just sitting there shuffling the deck and if a card falls out, that's how I do it.
Interesting. Yeah. So you think that's a? Because I do believe in left-handed spirits for sure. I believe there's spirits that are negative and positive for sure. I just don't believe that. Well, I'm not gonna say I don't believe that. I believe that can occur. I believe what you're doing is witchcraft. That's what I believe. That's not a holy spirit. That's not a righteous thing. We didn't like, if I'm this all we're just explaining to you right now is our culture. Like I said, whether you believe it or not, I'm not saying you're gonna run with it tomorrow or consider it later. I'm telling you it's history. We didn't, like, these tarot cards are made up. Somebody made that up. You believe that, right?
The tarot cards were, I forgot where they originated from. I do know where they originated from, but it wasn't from white people or anything.
Well, I'm not saying that either. I'm saying somebody made it up still, though. Somebody had to draw something on a card and tell you what it meant, right? Yeah, look that up for me.
This is the earliest references to tarot all date to the 1440s and 1450s and fall within the quadrilateral definition by the northern cities of Venice, Milan, and Florence.
Let's hear it. Go ahead.
Although most tangible evidence points to tarot cards having originated in Europe.
What other study have you done on tarot cards? Because you said it wasn't by white people. So where did you get your information from? We'll just go a quick Google search. I'm not sure if that's all that they have, but what did you study in reference to that?
I mean, I looked at books. I don't really remember.
Oh,
right
books?
now, yeah.
But that's where things you can get carried away with that. Because obviously you're going to gear yourself towards something that you agree with. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, right? So if I'm a math student and I want to graduate in math, I'm going to go right to the section and look for the book that I want. And that's what you do. That's what I'm saying. You are into tarot cards. Okay, what can I learn on tarot cards? I'm going to go right to this bookshelf, pick up a book on tarot cards, and I'm going to believe everything that's there. Right? That's what happened. You went to that shelf or wherever you bought it from, you looked up the information or the subject, you went to the tarot card section, and you picked up a book and read it, and that's what you internalized. That's true, right? And that's what I'm saying. You were aiming for that, and you read that. That's my point. There's no bearing on if it's true or false, but that's what you're into. That's my point I mean. You know what I mean? So that's the thing that you gotta. I'm not saying it's a negative to read, like I said, to learn about different things, but you're taking this as gospel, if you want to call it that, or truth, or some type of factual thing. And like I said, there are left-handed spirits. There are people that do psychic readings, and that's actually real. That's actually something that's in the Bible. But we're not allowed to do that. Now what you got? Give me 1 Samuel 28. Let me read something to you real quick. Go ahead.
This tarot cards too. It says some theories suggest a connection between tarot symbolism and the Book of Thoth, a series of texts written by the Egyptian god of writing and knowledge.
Yeah. So, Egyptian knowledge. So they didn't have tarot cards back then, but they had deities and a pantheon of gods that they worship. Have you seen pictures of of the Egyptian walls? Have you seen that before? You haven't seen that? So if you look at the walls of Egypt, there's pictures of like a man with a dog head on. Have you ever seen a person like that before? No, I'm talking about walking around right now. Of course not, because that's mythology. And that's what it's talking about. If it goes back to Egypt, it's mythology, it's not real. But they're classifying it like the sun god Horus. They call it the sun god Horus. They basically looked at the sun. Oh man, this god, he is responsible for vegetation and growing crops and things like that. So they put a deity to it. That's what they did. So it's an element that they didn't create, but they looked at it as some type of deity because of what it did in the earth, and they put a name to it. So when you just read that excerpt on Thoth, or the Egyptian god, they classified that, they gave it that name to a god based on an element in the earth. You know, they had even Native Indians did that actually. You familiar with that? That's what they did. They classified the sun as something, the water as something. They had to do certain things to have it rain and have a rain dance. And why would you do that? Like obviously, like I said, there are entities in the earth that allow certain actions to happen and to follow based on their belief system. Like we believe in, like I said, demons and things like that. We do believe that's real, but we're not supposed to intermingle with that. You know what I mean? Where you at?
This is Deuteronomy 18:9 in the GNT. When you come into the land that the Lord your God is giving you, don't follow the disgusting practices of the nations that are there. Don't sacrifice your children in fires on your altars, and don't let your people practice divination or look for omens or spells or use spells or charms, and don't let them consult the spirits of the dead.
Right. That's what's going on a tarot reading, right or wrong? Is that what's going on? God says you're not supposed to do that. The creator of heaven and earth. Like I said, everything that we put up there, now it's about what you're into. Like I said, we don't know if you're going to change or not. We're trying to give you information. You are our sister, we love you.
That's right.
Whether you believe us or not, we don't give you everything on the table. Take it or leave it.
Right.
We believe in God. We believe in the creator of heaven and earth. And he gave us a divine book to follow. Not no tarot cards. You know what I mean? Because like I said, I believe there are spirits on those cards for sure. And like I said, you might think it's good, but guess what? Give me where you at? Give me Matthew 7:13. Read.
Cant says,
And then hold that in percent.
and don't let them consult the spirits of the dead. The Lord your God hates people who do these disgusting things, and that is why he's driving those nations out of the land you advance. Be completely faithful to the Lord. It says, then Moses said, in the land you are about to occupy, people follow the advice of those who practice divination and look for omens. But the Lord your God does not allow you to do this.
We believe you're an Israelite. We believe you're a child of God, a daughter of God.
That's right.
Holy and separate. You're supposed to be separate from that. These other nations that do that, like the Canaanites, the Egyptians, all the other quote-unquote Africans today. Because we're not necessarily against Africa, but there's different people in Africa that are our people that practice all that nonsense. We didn't do that. We believe in a creator. In a spiritual sense, you know what I mean? But like I said, there are spirits that God allows to other people to contact and things like that. But we're not supposed to do that. That's not our culture. Hold on.
Instead, he will send you a prophet like me from among your own people.
Yeah, we're your brothers. The prophets of God are going to read out of the Bible prophecy. We're reading prophecies to you that came to pass. We already proved that to you, right? You believe that, right? We're talking about tarot cards in a negative fashion because it's not our people. It's not our culture. Go ahead.
And you are to obey him.
Obey the Heavenly Father, the creator of heaven and earth. That shows you above everybody else. I know plenty of people that are into that, like I said. The brother back there used to be into some type of witchcraft. But now he's over on this side, you know what I mean? Because there's no benefit in that. What's the benefit of being in reading tarot cards, like honestly? In reference to what? What's the best thing that happened to you after a tarot reading? Give me like a testimony. What's that? Or what's something that you asked for that happened and you were like, man, this works? Like what got you, like kept it going?
What I asked for and it happened, it was what I actually answered that I
What's that?
It's more like, it's not you ask for something and you get it. It's just you
Well, I'm just saying, I'm not sure how it works. So just give me an example of what you did, what happened that's a positive after that. You know what I mean? In your eyes.
after that, it's just a sense of clarity.
Sense of clarity? But you said, what's that?
I'm on the right track with something. It helps a lot with,
Yeah, you said decision making, right?
yes.
So what do you think, like, that's what I'm saying, like, what type of decision did you make based off the tarot reading that ended up in a positive fashion? Leaving her old job. Listen, you don't need no tarot card to tell you that.
Right.
It's a lot more complicated than that, but just
I mean, I'm just saying, though, like I said, I don't have a problem with that because that might have been God intervening, but I don't think that's the fashion you should go about it. 'Cause like I said, that's just your mind playing tricks on you. You know what I mean? Because I can think like, man, I want to leave my job right now. But guess what? What's I'm gonna do? I want to pay my bills. You know what I mean? I don't have a plan. A tarot card's not gonna give me a plan. A tarot card's not gonna give me no money. You know what I mean?
That's for
Listen, what Miss Cleo, what's her name? Miss Cleo, the secretary, black girl, she got sued. But anyways, we're just telling you that to say, we believe in God, we believe in the Bible. Our people aren't to engage in that practice.
Right, right.
Like I said, we're gonna pray for you, sister, to the Father through His Son, and hopefully you get out of that. We don't know if it'll happen. You know what I mean? I don't know if you're, mad we're telling you this or not, but I don't know when the next time we're gonna see you, or if anyone's gonna tell you about it. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
It's our only chance to tell you. You know what I mean? Because we love you. I don't have to tell you. I mean, it's a negative aspect, but guess what? We can't control you. You know what I mean? You're used to it. You've been in it for a year, but guess what? You can drop it at any time. And that's what we hope. But I'm gonna give you another example of of how God feels about it. Because we just read in the laws of God that we're not supposed to do that. That's not what we do. That's a sin to God.
Right.
And honestly, you're supposed to die for it. Give me that actually. You know what I want? Give me that. I think it's Exodus 18:22. Where you at? Give me 1 Samuel. Let's see. We're going to read about the king of Israel.
Bring it out.
The king doing something in reference to what you're doing. Let's see what happens. I think it's 28. You know what I want? 22 and 18? Go ahead. He got the law. Give me the
Exodus 22 and 18. It says, put to death any woman who practices magic.
Is that magic? Is magic? Would you classify that as magic?
I mean,
Read it in the KJV. What do you classify it as?
I wouldn't say magic or just energy.
Energy.
There's a difference. Yeah.
I understand that. It's divination, though. We read about divination. So, I can understand that, but it's divination, like I said. You're basically trying to conjure up a spirit to give you an answer, right? That's what it is, right? That's divination, which is contrary to God. Read.
Exodus 22:18, KJV, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live.
Witchcraft. Now, there's a lot of people that say, oh, you don't understand witchcraft, and I mean, you're right, because quiet as kept, there is witchcraft in the Bible. We wouldn't classify it as witchcraft, but it's things that God told us to do. You know what I mean? Now, if we say, you know, like the Puerto Ricans do witchcraft, some people, Haitians do witchcraft, people in Mexico do witchcraft, but it's not on God's terms, you know what I mean? Sacrificing pigs, creating some type of altar with symbols, and burning sage and candles, and Palo Santo, all that type of stuff. Like, that's not relevant, but people believe in that, you know what I mean? But guess what? We didn't do that for no reason back in the day. We did sacrifice animals to God, but we didn't do it for some type of answer, because we sacrifice for sins, we sacrifice for certain ceremonies, things like that. We don't, let me get an answer by killing this animal and flipping a card over. No. We went to the prophet for answers, you know what I mean? Go ahead.
This is Sirach 34 and 5, G&T. Dreams, divination, and omens are all nonsense. You see in them only what you want to see.
That's what it says. That's what I'm saying, though. You're going to go for what you agree with. Remember I said that a few minutes ago? Of course you're going to be like, oh man, this is working, but that's the trick. You're going to go get books on it that agree with your stance. You're not going to hear contrary if you don't want to hear it. You know what I mean? Like I said, some people have a problem with you know, us, but not necessarily, but disagreeing with their standpoint. You know what I mean? You're young, you can do whatever you want per se. But guess what? If you told us that through the Spirit, I didn't know that. I asked you what you were into, you didn't tell us that. But through the Spirit, you reference it. Now we have to address it. You know what I mean? Like I said, we don't know what's going to happen after today. We'll probably never see you again in my life. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, we still have to tell you what's going on. Because our culture is not in tarot cards. Our culture is in a creator. And we do have, I mean, not in this time, but back in that time, we did have devices and things that the priests use to get answers from God as well. So that's probably where they get it from, honestly. Because a lot of people pervert the Bible in their acts and their things, as far as like Freemasonry and the occult, Kabbalah. You familiar with that? You know what the Kabbalah is? Like Jewish mysticism and all that? They pervert the biblical concept of God, and that's why they have like blood sacrifices, things like that, and not on the negative side. You know what I mean? But where you at? You found what I want? First thing you was 15? Yeah, I want that. You got something else? All right, great. Let's read this real quick. I appreciate your time, sister. Delani, you said, right? Yeah, I appreciate your time. Read that.
1 Samuel 28.
Oh, this
3.
read.
Now Samuel was dead. Now Samuel was dead,
Samuel was dead, read.
and all Israel had lamented
Lamented, read on. They were mourning. Go ahead.
and buried him in Ramah, even in his own city. And Saul had put away those that had familiar spirits.
You hear that? Saul put away people with familiar spirits, meaning what? People that were in divination, doing witchcraft. He cast them out. That's a sin to God. So he's like, whoever's doing that, you got to go. But guess what? He's going to go back into it because he wants an answer from God. Read.
And wizards out the land. And the Philistines gathered themselves together and came pitched in Shunem, and Saul gathered all Israel together.
Yeah, because everybody go to war. So in the ancient world, before we went to war, like he said, Israel had understanding of the times and the sun, moon, and stars. We use that to engage war as well. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
And when Saul saw the host of the Philistines, the armies of the Philistines, he was afraid, and his heart greatly trembled. And when Saul inquired of the Lord answered him not.
Yeah, he inquired of the Lord by going to a prophet. He didn't get an answer. Read.
Neither by dreams, nor by Urim and Thummim, or right here it just says Urim, nor by the prophets.
Read.
Now Urim, it was a certain device that our priests used to divine with, right? Nor by the prophets. Then said Saul unto his servant, seek me a woman that hath a familiar spirit.
Yeah, go get me somebody that does witchcraft. That's what he's saying, right?
That I may go to her and inquire of her. And his servant said unto him, behold, there is a woman that hath a familiar spirit at Endor.
Read.
Saul disguised himself and put on another raiment.
Yeah, he put a mask on. He disguised himself because he knows the sin, what he's about to do. But God's not answering me. The priest not answering me. For God, I got to go to somebody else. Read.
And he went, and 2 men with him. And they came to the woman by night. And he said, I pray ye, divine unto me by that familiar spirit, and bring me him up, whom I shall name unto thee. And the woman said unto him, behold, thou knowest what Saul hath done.
Read.
How he had cut off those that had familiar spirits.
Yeah, so Saul's coming to her like, man, conjure me up a spirit. She's like, well, I thought you cast this out. Like, you're not supposed to be doing that no more. Read. This is the king of Israel. Read.
And the wizards out of the land. Wherefore then layest thou a snare for my life?
Yeah, he's trying to get me killed. Because we're not supposed to be doing that no more. He didn't kill me for doing this, but she gave me mercy, told me to leave. But now you're coming back. Now you want me dead. Because we're not supposed to be doing that no more. But guess what? This is going to elaborate. Read.
To cause me to die? And Saul swore to her by the Lord, saying, as the Lord liveth, there shall be no punishment happening to thee for this thing.
That's crazy.
Then said the woman, whom shall I bring up thee? And he said, bring me up Samuel.
Samuel was a prophet that died. Read.
And when the woman saw Samuel, she cried with a loud voice. And the woman spake to Saul, saying, why hast thou deceived me? For thou art Saul. And the king said unto her, be not afraid, for what sawest thou? And the woman said unto Saul, I saw gods ascending out of the earth.
Read on.
And he said unto her, what form is he of? And she said, an old man cometh up, and he covered with the mantle. And Saul perceived that it was Samuel, and he stopped, and he stooped his face with his face to the ground, and bowed himself. And Samuel said to Saul, why hast thou disquieted me to bring me up? And Saul answered, I am sore distressed, for the Philistines make war against me, and God is departed from me.
Yeah, so when he's talking about you brought me up out of my rest, when you die, you're at rest. Because people in Christianity says, oh, there's a heaven and a hell, and people die and go to hell. Like, no, that's not what he's talking about. People don't burn in the spirit world. That's ridiculous. People die and their spirits at rest, period. That's all it says in the Bible. Go ahead. And that's why Saul's like, why are you conjuring me up out of my rest and talking to me in this divination form? You're disturbing my peace, read, my rest, read.
For the Philistines, okay. God departed from me and answered me no more, neither by prophets nor by dreams. Therefore I have called thee, that thou mayest make known unto me what shall I do.
Yeah, so like I said, before we went to war, we went to the prophets, went to the priests, hey, what's going to happen in this war? Do we go to war now or later so we can win? So Saul's like, hey man, they're not answering me. I got to get answers from somebody else. So that's when he sinned, went to this woman of Endor, a woman that's in witchcraft. That's what's like, he's trying to get me killed for doing this. But Saul was like, I'm the king of Israel. You're not going to kill me because my word is final. So she's like, okay, well, I'm going to bring up this prophet. She's like, oh man, you're the king. Like, what the hell? So he's like, don't even worry about it. I just want to answer. So Samuel's talking like, bro, like, why'd you disturb my peace? So he's going to explain what's going to happen to him, read.
Therefore I have called thee, that thou mayest make known unto me what shall I do. And said Samuel, wherefore then thou ask of me, seeing the Lord is departed from thee?
Yeah, you asking me? I know that the Lord, the Father, the Creator, that isn't dealing with you no more. That's why he went to him, because he disobeyed him before that, and he chose David to be the king shortly after this, right?
The Lord is departed from thee, and is become thine enemy. And
So God's his enemy now. You don't want God to be your enemy, sisters, by doing that divination, right?
And the Lord hath done to him as he spake by me. For the Lord hath rent the kingdom out of thine hand,
Go ahead.
and given it to thy neighbor, even to David.
Yeah. Keep reading though. You gave the kingdom of Israel to another man due to my disobedience. But he's not saying that because of what he's doing right now, what he did earlier by not slaughtering people that he told him to kill, right?
Because thou disobeyest not the voice of the Lord, no executest the spirit of wrath upon Amalek.
Read on.
Therefore hath the Lord done this thing unto thee this day.
Go ahead.
Moreover, the Lord will also deliver Israel into the hand of the Philistines.
Yeah, he's going to deliver the people that you're about to go to war with. You're about to be delivered into their hands, meaning you're going to be killed by him. You're going to lose this war due to your disobedience. So you want to answer about this war, you're going to get killed in this war. That's what he's about to tell him, right?
And tomorrow shalt thou and thy sons be with me.
Yeah, you're going to be with me. Where does Samuel come from? The spirit world, right? He was already dead. You're going to die. That's what he said. You want to answer, you're going to die. That's what happened, right?
The Lord also shall deliver the host of Israel into the hands of the Philistines.
Everybody else is going to die because you didn't obey. That's what he just told him. Not just because of the divination aspect, because of the earlier disobedience. But now that you're conjuring me up in another sin, now the whole nation got to get it. So that's how we got to operate, sister. You're an individual, but guess what? You represent me as well. You see what's going on in the world. Oh well, like you said, you're not necessarily into the social media aspect, but we know there's a thing called, like I said this before, a hot girl summer. What's a hot girl summer? Where women just have sex freely, dress scantily clad, travel the world, drink, do all type of madness with no repercussions. You get pregnant, guess what? Take a plan B, get an abortion. That's madness. That's a sin. That's when you read earlier, have your son or daughter pass through the fire. That's where they get it from. That's an ancient, what's it called? Molech, the Canaanite deity, where you sacrifice children to him. You know what I mean? That's what they were doing back in the ancient world. The other nations were doing. So when you have an abortion, that's a similar aspect. You're killing your kid, sacrificing them to another god. You know what I mean? And it's the same aspect with divination. Whether it's psychic reading, whether it's tarot cards, whether it's what else do they do in witchcraft? I don't even know. Like I said, building altars to different gods, things like that. Sacrificing kids, casting spells. Like that's real. But like I said, that's not what we're supposed to be doing. So like I said, I understand that's what you're into, but that's not righteousness. That's not the side of the fence you're supposed to be on. You know what I mean? Do you agree with me? You don't know? Like I said, it's not gonna happen overnight. Like I said, you're gonna go with what you want to do. But like I said, the path you're on, give me Matthew 7, that's what I want. The path you're on right now, more than likely will lead to your destruction. It might seem fun and dandy now. It might seem great now. You might get a couple answers here and there by shuffling cards and having it fall out like it's an accident, but guess what? There are left-handed spirits. That left-handed spirit might lead you down the wrong path eventually. Give me that? 7:13.
Matthew 7 and 13. Enter ye in at the straight gate.
Enter at the straight gate. Meaning what? The righteous narrow gate.
For wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction.
Yeah. Broad is the gate, and wide is the way that leads to destruction. Why? Because everybody's doing wickedness. It's easy to do bad, right? Being reserved, being modest, being a quote-unquote nerd, as they call it. You know what I mean? Being on the other side of the fence. Like I said, people do drugs. People buy prostitutes. People do all type of madness. Witchcraft, all that type of stuff. They think it's good, but guess what? At the end of that road, it's not going to be a good thing. Like I said, whether you believe it or not, we're talking from God's word. Out of all the history archaeology we proved, everything else should fall in line as well. I said that earlier, including the negative aspects. You have to take the good with the bad. So guess what? That lifestyle or that particular practice you're doing is not what we're supposed to be doing. Whether you take it or leave it. You might still do it. Like I said, it's not my job to tell you what not to do, even though I'm telling you not to do it. It has to be something that resonates with you. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure Native Americans weren't doing divination like that. I'm almost 100% sure. They did have. That's what I wanted actually. That's what I was gonna get.
They had wise men and shaman though. That's what I'm saying. But like divining and stuff, no.
Yeah, the Native Americans were doing it, and I wanted to. We were on the path of, you know, how the congregation always came, but we're kind of past that by now. That's not a problem. But did you have any questions, or what did you have to respond to that aspect? You gonna go home and flip a card over tonight? Yeah. Was he right? that's what you're gonna do. That's funny. But anyways, like I said, sister, we love you. We're gonna tell you the truth. This is just a crash course within like the last hour and some change. You know what I mean? We want the best for you. And like I said, tarot cards is only gonna get you so far. You know what I mean? You still gotta perform actions after that, even if you do have an answer per se, right? You know what I mean? And like, give me Proverbs 20:24. And give me Psalms 90 and I think it's 90 and 9. Or excuse me, yeah, 90 and 9. I know you've been here for a while. I don't want to keep you all night. Where you about to go? Just relax, chill. You smoke? Hey man, smoke don't belong in your lungs either.
Right. Proverbs 20:24. Man's goings are of the Lord.
And woman's goings are of the Lord. So he did put you on a path to have tarot cards in your hand, but guess what? He already put you on a path to come here as well, learn about that.
That's right.
You know what I mean? That's what's been divinely ordained. However long you've been alive. You're 19 years young. You came here today to learn about the truth. Go ahead.
How can a man then understand his own way?
How can you understand your own way? You think you're right. I'm not saying you think you're right, but you're doing things that you think is okay. So who else is going to tell you that is wrong besides the people that know better? Do your parents have an issue with you doing tarot cards? They have an issue? She has an issue? What does she believe in? Hey, what'd she tell you? How'd you feel about that? You didn't care? You live with her? She just said it's not good. She told you the truth. She probably didn't read you the Bible, but she told you a little bit of the truth. It's not of God. You know what I mean? But like I said, whether you believe it, whether you do it or not, we hope you don't do it. But guess what? It's up to God if you're going to keep doing it or not. You know what I mean? So that's in the spirit. Your grandma recognized that as a Christian, even though, like I said, we believe, like I said, anybody can speak to anybody in the spirit, even the heathen per se. You know what I mean? To tell you something that's, you know, a positive thing. You know what I mean? So all we can do is tell you, hey, we would implore you to throw them cards away, stop smoking, get into this Bible. You know what I mean? Learn more. Because like I said, that's just the tip of the iceberg we gave you about the history of your people. There's man, thousands of videos more. You got a flyer, didn't you? Yeah, so you go on YouTube at all, you can watch YouTube? Look, I know you like this anime on YouTube. When you get a chance, after your anime, after your old shows, you know what I mean? Look up the Israelites, look up the Native Americans. And look how many artifacts they found in America with Hebrew artifacts. There's more Hebrew artifacts in America than anywhere else in the world. Why? Because you guys are the people of the Bible. You know what I mean? The Los Lunar Stone in New Mexico. They have the Decalogue Stone in Ohio. They found all type of artifacts in Virginia, all throughout the Middle East, Michigan. I already said Ohio. Decalogue. But there's so many artifacts in America. They're like, man, like, how did people get this? They're the Israelites. They came over here. That's who your ancestors are. And like I said, if you study the culture of the Native Americans, they were doing Sabbath days. They were doing, sacrifices where, basically in the Bible, it says when you slaughter an animal, not necessarily wave off, basically what you eat out of the animal. They didn't eat pig. The white man brought the pig over here. Do you eat pork? Oh, praise. That's a sin. Yeah, it's a sin actually. The pig isn't natural to America. The white man brought the pig over here. It's a filthy animal. We're not supposed to touch it, eat it, anything. That's a sin. What's that? Exactly. You know that. A lot of people think it's okay. Like, it's an animal. A Christian be like, oh, God made everything clean. No, he didn't. A pig will eat a dead body. A pig will eat poop. You want to eat what a pig eats? Absolutely not. It's crazy. You know what I mean? So that's just common sense that people, like, just on a health aspect. You know what I mean? That's just simple logic. But guess what? Our people, the Native Americans, didn't eat pig. But guess what? The slaves did. They forced us to do it because we didn't have no choice. So if you study the history of Native Americans, like I said, they were doing Hebrew cultural aspects, the Sabbath, certain sacrifices, circumcision. They had priests, like I said, like he referenced the shamans, those are priests, healers, things like that. All that comes from the Bible because they kept a little bit of their culture even after they left Assyria. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted. Show it the Assyrian tablets. Yeah, fringes. You seen these on Native Americans before? Why they wear that? It's in the Bible. Where'd it come from? It comes from the Bible. They're the people in the Bible. So that's what we're telling you. Give me that in a second. This is again. Actually, no, we already read that. Show it that. That's Chief Joseph. And what's next to him is, read the article actually. That's the Assyrian tablet. Where's Assyria? Middle East. Yeah, right above Israel, next to Babylon. So, how to get an Assyrian tablet? We're going to read it. We're going to read the article. Go ahead.
It says, in this photo of an ancient relief sculpture, we can see the Assyrian god Asher upon his throne. In front of him is a disc with the symbol known as the Assyrian star, or the Asher star. It is a 4-pointed star with a circle in the center, radiating out from between the 4 points of the star. Are rays of light. It says, other tablets with an Assyrian connection have been found throughout Northern America. A tablet similar in size and appearance to the Chief Joseph tablet was found in 1963. Like the Chief Joseph tablet, this one was a receipt for the sale of sheep and goats that were used in a ceremonial sacrifice.
They were doing ceremonial sacrifices. Way back in Assyria as well. They were still keeping the culture. Came over here and still did the same thing. Show me where Chief Joseph is talking. Where is it at? No. Show me. No. Yeah, right here.
It says Chief Joseph said the tablet had been passed down in his family for many generations. How would his family come into possession of a nearly 4,000-year-old tablet? According to the chief, they inherited it from their white ancestors.
Their what?
From their white
They don't have no white. What the? Why would they say that? How are they white? That's crazy. Anyway. Yeah, his ancestors aren't white. First of all, they came from Assyria. Assyrians aren't white either. That's ridiculous. But the bottom line is, his ancestors came from Assyria in slavery, like it says in the Bible, on ships, on their own, and they brought that tablet with them. And they passed that down to him as a chief, as a ruler, and that's where they got it from, the Assyrian tablet. Talking about how they sacrificed animals, because they're doing the same thing. How did he get it? Because his ancestors were in Assyria, just like the Bible says. So your ancestors are Israelites, right? That's just like, this is small things. We're getting straight to the point. Show me that picture. Let me see. So this picture, obviously on the right, or excuse me, the left, Native Americans. This is on the walls of Assyria. The same garments the Israelites were in slavery on. This is Assyrian. I think this is the Lakif leaves in Assyria, where they were in slavery to the Assyrians, and the Native Americans were wearing the same things. Show that. Yeah, that's a picture that we took. We were on a powwow a couple years ago in Oakland. Yeah? We were on a powwow in Oakland. That's when we took a picture of the sister's garment. She was wearing the same thing. So that's just easy information, easy proof. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
This is Numbers 15:38. Speak unto the children of Israel and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations, and that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue. And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it and remember all the commandments of the Lord and do them, and that ye seek not after your own heart and your own eyes, after which ye used to go a-whoring, that ye may remember and do all my commandments and be holy unto your God.
And that's what we wear them for. So every time we're thinking about sinning or in the midst of certain things we're about to do, that's a decision maker right here. Hey, this fringe is a reminder, hey, I'm supposed to keep the commandments. So instead of looking at a tarot card, you're supposed to put a fringe on your body. Like this, or like this. You know what I mean? That's what you're supposed to hear as a signal. What the signal supposed to make is what? God can still get an answer without a tarot card. Have you ever tried it without a tarot card, actually? How's that work? Is there a similar positive result, or is it just like you're unsure if you want to go that route, or what? Or would you say you're more certain based off a tarot card than your own thoughts and things like that? What's that?
I don't know. I haven't done it in a while, so I don't really know.
You haven't like done it on your own without the tarot cards in a while? Okay. Well, like I said, I just wanted to know because, like I said, you're into that part of things, but have you tried it without it? You know what I mean? So if you haven't done it in a while, neither here nor there. But I just wanted to get your answer on that. You got something? Alright. You got something else? Cool. I mean, like I said, that's the information we got for you, sister. Give me Deuteronomy 12 and 10. How y'all doing? Do you have any other questions, sister? I don't want to keep you all day, but I'm going to talk to these sisters. But read this last one, and I'll let you go. If you're on YouTube, like I said, go on YouTube, look up information. Plenty of information on the history, tied with the Bible, all that type of stuff. Go ahead. Do you have any questions? I want to talk to y'all. I want to talk to y'all real quick.
Now this is Deuteronomy 10 and 12. And now Israel, what does the Lord thy God require of thee?
What does God require of Nalani? Read.
But to fear the Lord thy God, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul, to keep the commandments of the Lord and his statutes which I command thee this day for thy good.
The commandments are for your good. Wearing fringes, not eating pork, treating your brother and your sister as yourself, not killing each other, not stealing from each other, not doing all type of madness, not allowing people to commit witchcraft and all that type of madness, divination. Guess what? We're supposed to tell you about it. That's love. You know what I mean? Like I said, whether you agree with it or not, we're showing you an act of love and how God's supposed to, or how you're supposed to love God and his people. So like I said, whether you do it or not, guess what? We warned you, we told you about it. You can learn more as you go. Like I said, if you have any questions, there's information on the flyer you got. There's a phone number on there if you have any questions. My number's on there, his number's on there. You're from Sacramento, right? What part?
I don't know directly. I kind of moved around a lot as a kid, but maybe like Elk Grove.
Elk Grove?
Yeah.
Oh, you in a nice area. Not a problem. Well, like I said, that's our information for you, sister. Anything else before you go, or what? You have any questions? Okay, well, like I said, you have a blessed day. Hopefully you repent from that. Like I said, if you have any questions, or if you want to look online, like I said, everything's there for you to look at. Like I said, whether you take it or leave it, like I said, we showed you everything, and like I said, hopefully you repent, you know? All right, sister, you be safe. Yep. And with that, we'll close out. Give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai. Say shalom.